Hello everyone, I hope you're well. I figured it was about time I made a little video explaining the game that I'm currently working on, because I think this one is going to need quite a lot of open development and player feedback and stuff. It's a deck building game, but you are using the cards to move around a robotic rabbit on the screen that's going to be mining materials, which then in between missions, when you go mining, you will be crafting cards out of the materials you collected to make better cards, to construct better decks, and then go on more missions. And the more missions that you complete, you unlock further missions which will take place in different areas with different materials to make even more cards, and so on and so forth. So that's the general idea. It's a bit like a deck building game with a kind of Monster Hunter feedback loop of gathering materials and making better gear to gather better materials. I tried making this video a few times, and I think I finally got the game to a point where it's easier to tell what's going on, because although the animation isn't finished by a long shot, there's enough movement going on to understand what's happening. So if I play a move left card, for example, you can see the cards being played, and the rabbit has actually moved on the screen a bit, although there's no actual walking animation or falling animation. Hopefully you can gather what's going on. So if I talk about batteries first 1 second, batteries give you energy for each battery card in the deck. When they're actually in your hand, it has no use. That's why they've been coloured in red. Each energy that you've got in your deck will give you a turn for that mission. So the more batteries you have in your deck, the more turns you have, which obviously is helpful. However, the actual cards themselves clutter up your deck, and when they're in your hand, they're not very helpful. You don't want to put too many battery cards in your deck, because then even if you have more turns, each hand that you draw won't be very efficient because it will be cluttered up with batteries. So I'm still working on whether this balance system actually works or not, but I like the idea and it seems to work so far, although there might be some kind of exploit or loophole. I'm not sure yet. So if I go over movement cards quickly first, see, the first card we used just now was a move left. So movement just means moving through empty spaces. We would have moved 2 spaces, except if you fall, you will carry on moving, but the only reason we've stopped here is because Rabbit has run into this wall here. This wall, however, does contain a bone, and the mission we're on at the moment actually is to collect a bone. So if I now use this dig left card here, he will dig into the earth and collect the bone, which is all very good. We're not going to end the mission though, we're going to continue so I can continue to show you stuff. And there's also drill down, which will also drill through earth, but if I drilled into an earth tile that had something in it, like a bone, with a drill card, the drill would actually destroy it. So you want to use dig cards to collect items without destroying them. As we go lower down, there will also be stone tiles. Dig cards can't destroy stone tiles. Drill cards can if there's ore in the stone tile. It doesn't really matter if you drill it. Ore's going to be melted down anyway. It doesn't really matter if it's in pieces. That might change at some point. I'm tempted to maybe have a pickaxe card instead, and have drill cards just destroy everything, and pickaxe cards be the card you need to use to collect things from stone carefully. A bit like dig cards with earth, but we'll see. So let's do another hand. So that's good timing. The next thing I wanted to talk about was draw cards. We have a draw card in our hand here, so if I click this, it'll give us 2 more. And then all of these are redded out at the moment. We'll talk about rotation cards in a minute, but we can see the drill left card here has gone red, and also the move right card has, because both sides are blocked. Move can't move through earth, and drill left, this is the actual edge of the level, so you can't get through that. So they're currently not active. We'll save the double ore card for later, because we can only use that once. That's why it has a green title, same as this draw card here. When I end the turn here, you'll see this draw card will actually get destroyed because we've used it. So there we go, it's disappeared, it hasn't gone back into the deck. So that's something that I'm also putting into the game, is the idea of consumable cards, which will be cheaper to craft, but will have to be crafted multiple times every time you want one. So they'll be treated along the lines of something like potions or something that would be consumable, except he's a robot, but we'll talk about that later. So we've got a bit more movement here, so we'll drill right, and we can actually make good use of these drill left. Which will bring us back, and then drill down. So it's got a bit of distance there. So I haven't seen a replace card yet. If we drill right though, we can talk about clockwise. Although we haven't seen a replace card yet, they're pretty self-explanatory. You play them, you select 2 cards to replace, and then they'll be replaced. I'm sure we'll see one in a minute. So this is a clockwise rotation card, which will take the 8 blocks around us and move them. And there's several situations where this might be good, where you might want to move a material into a spot where you can use another card to collect it, things like that. In this particular situation, moving clockwise is going to move this empty space below us, which will allow us to move down 1 block. And in fact, I think there might be a better order to do this in. I'm not sure. Let's just play it here anyway, just for demonstration's sake. So we'll drop down 1. See, the blocks moved and we drop down 1. I just wondered if moving right down here and then doing it might be more beneficial, but I'm not sure. We've also got a grapple card here. It's not the best place to really demonstrate it, but a grappling hook, although it's not animated yet, so you'll have to take my word for it, it will fly out and hit the wall and drag Rabbit across to the wall, and in this case he'll move here and then he'll drop down afterwards. The grappling hook can actually go right across the level, so say Rabbit was over here and this mushroom wasn't there, it would pull him over onto this block here. In this scenario, with the mushroom actually there, it would fly across and grab the mushroom and bring it back, and we need to collect the mushroom. If you grab a wall, it pulls you to the wall. If you grab an item, it pulls the item back to you. So we'll use it here and we'll just move across 1 using it and go to the next hand. Okay, here's a redraw card here, so we'll play, this one's redraw 2 cards, so we'll play that and then we'll select these 2 because we're unable to use them in our current situation. The reason they're not red at the moment is because we're in select mode, so it's just making them white or red, depending, white or blue, depending if they're selectable. So we'll replace those 2. And we could use this to draw 2 as well. Here's a redraw any card, so this is, that one was 2, this one's consumable as well because it's very highly powered. So we could redraw those batteries. I think we want to keep the other 2 at the moment though. And then we can move right, and then we can dig right, and then we'll fall down onto that mushroom. Then we dig down, do another turn. Another thing I wanted to note is I've been calling Rabbit he occasionally. However, Rabbit is completely customizable and can be any gender you want, and any colour. There'll be different colours you can collect and different accessories and things, so it will be your personal customized Rabbit rather than a general character. That's the current plan anyway. I'm thinking of having collectible colours a bit like Borderlands 2 and collectible accessories. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. Not sure if we've actually done any achievements yet, just to demonstrate that achievements exist. Let's have a look. So collect that mushroom, anti-clockwise that. This is a good demonstration because that then opens up a big opportunity to drop down there. And so let's see if we can get a, so this drill left card. Well, that's another thing to note. We can use this drill, there's a move left card as well, but we can use the drill left card to move left as well, even if there's no block to drill into. Rabbit will still drill in that direction. You'll just drill into thin air, but it gives the card multiple functions. and that's an achievement there for getting to 20 depth. So there's going to be lots of achievements in the game. I'll talk about that in more detail in another video. And we can collect another mushroom. That's an achievement for collecting 3 mushrooms. Lots of achievements for different things will be added in. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'm planning on doing quite a few development blogs. I don't want to promise every day, but now I've hopefully explained the general gist of the game, it will be very easy to just keep on making little videos explaining different aspects and showcasing new bits that I've put in. And I'll talk later about various plans for open beta and things like that. Still a long way off, but it's still up in the air. So I hope that's a decent enough explanation. Let me know if you have any questions about it, and I'll be happy to answer. And I'll see you later.